transitioning from middle school to high school,
Uh-huh.
I struggled a lot actually with my mental health.
Okay.
And my mom started to tie, I mean, my mom is very holistic and she's just amazing in every single way, but she's
Which
always.
I will validate. I met
Yes.
your mom recently at a shower the other day and instantly loved her. So I'm bringing her on the podcast.
No, you
too.
should. Everyone should
amazing.
hear what she has to say. And she said the same thing about you afterwards. We always say cuss and discuss. Like, let's go back and cuss and discuss. And we talk about all the things we learned. And she was like, I loved Callie's story. I loved Callie. So
sweet.
she loved you
We
too.
felt that connection. She's a definite pretty sister. That's what I
Yes. But she did such a good job of tracing it back. Okay, like what is it that's causing you to have all these like hard feelings? And obviously with mental health, there's a lot of different things and everyone's experiences are so different. One thing that my mom noticed is on Snapchat, there's all these like, I don't even know, it's been forever since I've seen Snapchat, but there was this page where it was like always showing these videos and it was like always like, it was just like really dark content. And not that it was like crazy inappropriate or crazy like dark or dreary. I think it just wasn't uplifting and it wasn't like super happy and like, I don't know. I of course didn't know this. I'm like, I don't know, 13 at this time.
Yeah.
And so my mom, that was the first thing. She's like, okay, we're going to delete Snapchat. And at first I rebelled and I was like, no, I'm going to have no friends. I'm going to have no way to communicate. And then as I got older, like I think I was able to realize how much people were relying on Snapchat. And it was just like, to me, it was so silly. Like I took a couple of years, but once I stepped out of it, I was like, people on Snapchat are just sending pictures when like I'm texting people. Like if someone doesn't want to text me, like the conversations are much more real over text than they are over Snapchat. And then of course, obviously in person, it's a whole nother level. But that's when I stopped, I stopped Snapchat. And then I remember, I think it was either my junior or senior year of high school. This was like one of the best things my mom did for me. So it was perfect for us. We made a deal and she was like, hey, Marlon, if you delete Instagram off of your phone, then I'll pay for you to get your nails done, like all year. And so I never
did you have to delete it the whole time and she would keep doing your nails if it was off?
Yeah. So it was just like, I didn't have Instagram on my phone and I wanted my nails done. And so I still had it, but whenever,
for everyone.
Exactly. Like if I wanted to post for a dance or if I wanted to go look at something or if I wanted to just do my occasional scroll, like I would do it on my mom's phone. And that just helped me so I didn't get distracted and too far down the rabbit hole or spent too much time on it. And it just, I feel like it made me intentional with my social media use. Like, okay, I'm only going to go on it for a little bit and I know what I'm doing. And then I got my nails done and my mom helped me establish these habits. And so it was honestly a win-win. And then I just learned so much from that of just being able to stay out of the drama and just being real and being like, kind of like, I don't know how to say it, but like underground a little bit. Like it was like underground, but like I wasn't as involved as a lot of other people in this stuff that didn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
Like if it mattered, I was involved, and if not, I was listening.
Because you kind of realize eventually like that you don't actually need to know where everybody is at all times and what they're doing.
Yeah. You don't need to compare your darkest times to everyone's highest when they're posting on social media and stuff. So that's kind of where my social media habits first started for me.
And then now you're on social media. You're beginning to be an influencer on social media and using it as a business platform to explore your profession, right? So tell us about that. Tell everybody what you're studying and what you're doing.
Yeah. So I'm a student at BYU. I'm studying exercise and wellness. And I'm also a certified health and nutrition coach. And so I'm using my social media to promote my business as a coach, but also to like give free information. If we're going to be on social media, I want it to be a platform where you can learn and grow. And so that's what I try to do with my social media. I think one thing that was really big for me going into it, which I'm still very new, like I think I've been doing it for a year, but on and off for that year. And it's still new, but
still a student.
Yes.
Still dating and falling in love and getting ready to get married.
Got plenty of things going on.
Things going on in your life.
Yes. But I just always said, like, if someone's going to spend their time watching my video, I want it to be something that they can take away. You know, like the day in the life videos are great. And I have a couple of those here and there, but I want like my platform to be someone is coming to my platform to learn and that it's growing, not just pumping out random content, which here and there I do. Like you got to do what you got to do. But that I try my best to make it meaningful information so that if someone's going to scroll on my page, it's going to be meaningful to them, intentional. So that's my goal.
I think that's a great goal. And it's something I've tried to do as well. And I've struggled a little bit with the concept as I've been doing this, and I'm still learning how to do this. But the fact that some of the frivolous things, like you said, the day in the life or the dancing or the fun things are the ones that get more of the views.
It's true.
And more of the likes.
Yeah.
And I've been frustrated as I've been doing this, thinking that I'm putting out like educational or good content that will not get seen. And then the second I do a silly dance, that's the one that will take on. But somebody told me, wise, who has done this much longer, and has said, you have to throw in some candy. There has to be a balance. You got to do some fun things, and then that will get the eyes on the content that's more meaningful to you.
Exactly.
And so you have to just sort of figure out that mix. I guess it's a little bit of being a slave to the algorithm.
Yes, exactly.
Figuring out how to, get that working for you.
You post a silly dance and then people look at your account and then they find all the other good
and then
stuff,
they find the good stuff.
Yes.
But in general, I agree. I mean, we want to be providing value. And this is a great method for us to get it out there. So health and nutrition, how did you take a dive into that? Did that come from the mental health challenges that you faced younger? Like, did you figure out that all of that goes together? Because I'm sure you know that now.
Yes, definitely a little bit of everything. I was super fortunate growing up. My mom, very holistic, very healthy. She just raised us, teaching us the importance of taking care of your body, and that your body is this amazing tool that you can use if you take care of it right. And so it was always like in my mind, but of course, growing up, I was always like rebellious. Like I'd get so excited when I could go to my friend's house who had all the good treats, because my mom was like the carrot mom. That like our treats were like carrots and broccoli and like all that good stuff. But she definitely got it in my mind.
Good mother.
Yes, she is. But it wasn't actually until when I was 19, I left to serve a mission for my church. I served my mission in Phoenix, Arizona. And it was at that point when I started to realize like what I knew and what I had been raised on was so unique. Yes. And I remember it was so sad for me to see so many people that I was serving with, whether it was other missionaries or people that I met, as we know, as sisters here on this podcast, like body image. And it's something that every girl struggles with at some point in their life. And gaining weight on your mission is something that's super common to a lot of missionaries. And it was so heartbreaking to me to see some of the habits that people would form in attempts to lose mission weight or in order to get healthy or to look better, to look different. And, I had friends who would like just stare at themselves in the mirror and be like, okay, I wish that like my hips were a little different this way. My arms were a little different this way. And it was just like so shocking to me. And I knew that like people struggled with it a little bit here and there, but to see it so close up with so many people, because on a mission, you're living with like either one other person or a couple other people like 24/7. And so you see all the sides of them. And that was just so surprising.
Because you're not choosing who your roommates are for the first time in your life. You're just getting placed and paired, which I think is such a neat experience that only is going to happen during that time, because the rest of your life, you really are going to be much more intentional in choosing it. So this gives you such an exposure to different personalities of all kinds,
different lifestyles growing up, and different beliefs that they have that cause them to believe and do certain things. So that's kind of where the idea started, that I was like, oh, this is so sad. Like, I want to do it. And I actually struggled with it so much myself too. It was like, for the first time in my life, like I would get in the shower and I would just cry. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so sad. Like this is so hard. And
were you also putting on weight on the mission? And so you were also dealing with that body image change.
Yeah.
And for the first time, probably realizing, oh, this is so many things are out of your control.
Yes.
What you're eating on a
what
mission.
I'm doing on a daily basis, workout routines.
Yes. And so you have to just somewhat surrender to that stage of life. Is that kind of what you had to reconcile with?
I feel like that's what I did at the beginning until I realized that I actually didn't have to, and that there were things that were in my control. Like I think I actually have the opportunity to work with a lot of missionaries now and coach a lot of missionaries. And one thing that I try to help them see is that even though there are some things, a lot of things that are out of your control, there are things in your control that you can do, which I think helps people just feel like they have control. I think that is so important to just know that, like, okay, I can actually take care of my body, even though somebody is giving me this Thanksgiving meal for the 5th time this week. Like I can control.
Make some choices.
Yes, I can make some choices, and I
do
can
it in
take
a
care of
thoughtful,
myself.
gracious way.
Yes.
That probably does need some coaching and some skills to be learned of how to graciously handle those situations.
Yeah. So I started to learn a little bit of that on my mission, and then when I got home, I was just so passionate about it, and so that's when I switched my major to exercise and wellness. And then I found this health coaching certification that I was able to do. And then through that led me to a couple other things that led me to this company that I work with now, and this mentor, coach, boss, all of the above person who helps me now to be a coach. And now I'm so grateful for what I do. I coach. I'm in school full time, and then I'm coaching the rest of the time. Which I'm so lucky and so blessed to do, because it's just the best job. Like, again, like body image and anything with your body, it's so vulnerable. It's such a vulnerable place to be in. And so having these men and women who come to me who say, okay, like this is a goal I have, and like letting me be a part of their journey is just, I feel so lucky and so blessed to be a part of. So
Such a great
I love
opportunity.
it.